Even when the odds are stacked against you, you still have a chance. Sometimes the biggest mistake people make is not even trying. I'll explain with the story I heard. There was a competition a few years ago. If you won, you'd get a full scholarship to one of the top universities here in California. It's a school that people from all over the world dream of attending. But the competition was tough, and the odds of winning were pretty low. At least that's what everyone thought. People assumed that they didn't have a chance of winning, so they didn't even try. But guess what? Only one person wrote an essay. Just one. And because they were the only one who actually tried, they won the scholarship. Not because they were the smartest, not because they were the most qualified, but because they showed up when the odds were stacked against them. Most people let the odds stop them before they even begin. They think, why should I bother? It won't work. And the truth is that the odds don't always define your outcome. The real game isn't about having the best chance. What if it's about being the one person who just doesn't quit? If you're already seeing how this might shift your mindset, and if you want more ways to beat the odds in real life, I'd recommend to hit that like and subscribe. If you've watched my videos before, you might know that I'm getting my master's degree right now. But it wasn't easy getting here because of the odds stacked against me. I hope that the story that I'm about to tell turns into something that really inspires you to always try even when it looks impossible. So back in undergrad, I didn't expect to go back to school after finishing my bachelor's. And because of that, I slacked off and my GPA dropped. But one day, I decided that I'm gonna go do my master's. So when I decided to apply for an MBA, I looked at the requirements and my GPA was only good enough for the unranked or bottom tier schools. And I'm not trying to go to a bottom ranked school, respectfully. The odds were even more stacked against me because I was younger than almost every other applicant, which meant that I had less work experience. Then on top of that, I took the entrance exam with only 2 days to study because the application was due, and most people spend at least 3 months studying. And the result of that was that I scored in the bottom 25%. At that point, it felt like everything was against me. There was no chance of me getting into the schools that were above the absolute bottom. But I still applied. I fully expected the rejection because the odds were so low of getting in, but I applied. And some time went by and I got my acceptance letter into the unranked school. Sure, whatever, I wasn't too excited about that one. But I also threw an application at one of the top 5 MBA programs here in California, and by some miracle, they accepted me. Even though my test score was 25% below the minimum, and I had years less of work experience, and a lower GPA than everybody else, and a younger applicant than everybody else, I got in. Every odd was stacked against me, but I didn't give up. And here's what that taught me. The odds don't matter when you act anyway. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect setup, or perfect confidence. But real success doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving forward even when it feels like you'll fail. It comes from understanding that low odds aren't no odds, and the moment you decide to act is when everything shifts. Every win starts with a try. You won't have a perfect plan and it'll never be guaranteed. But just the decision to keep going when it's hard will be the only thing that gives you a chance. But just to be clear, this doesn't mean you should chase every low odds opportunity out there. None of this is about gambling or taking wild risks for short-term rewards. It's about knowing when perseverance aligns with your long-term goals. If pushing through could truly benefit your future, that's when it's worth the effort. I'm interested to know your stories. Have you ever faced something where the odds felt impossible? Let me know in the comments how you pushed through it or what you're facing now. I'd really love to hear your story. And if you want to fall deeper into the rabbit hole of self-improvement, then you can watch this video right here.